your boy Abalor coming at you from Trojan Tuning. We have had some more luck with all things S650 tuning. This is an update we're pushing out today. As you can see here, as I continue to dial in my math, we're starting to see very tight numbers. I'm very pleased. This is again across both my banks, and I've also started having some luck in my graphs with some basic stuff. Oil temp sensor, I found out as a filter if you are coming from a cold start to rip a log. That is not something that is populating. Not sure why. But cylinder temp is a very good little gold standard. As long as you're with mine, warm up is anything north of 170, so that just filters out some of that crap, right? We're also seeing that throttle angle is working in some instances. It doesn't seem to have much of an effect though. And overall, the black magic of how we've set this up, I'm seeing enough trending that I still like working with these raw numbers. For example, we see we have something of an outlier here, right? Why is that? And that's where looking at your counts really matters, right? And from here, I have found I will populate some of these with a multiply percentage. Get that out of the way. And as I look at my airflow, come on, oh, there we go. Bear with me, it's been a long day. As I start loading some of these percentages, they are raising certain portions of the band, fairly substantially. So for example, I'll get something that'll look like this, right? And it's pretty easy to come in and interpolate, hey, probably going to want to move that guy up, right? That was pretty crude. But at this point, the maths, I would say, are pretty much dialed in. I've actually think I got my final answer. I'm going to do some logging to confirm it, and hopefully it's all is well. And that's enough on math, right? We're sick of talking about it at this point. What I am interested in, as I finish the math calibration, right, I start to think to myself, okay, now let's start to turn towards the world of speed density. And my video for today is, have you seen how many speed density tables there are? On the S650, man, I've been reviewing some things I found online, and I think there were 10 of these mapped points. And sorry, this is going really slow. It's because I'm cutting a video. I guess now it's fine. Nope, there we go. Yeah, 10 of them. And here we have a total of 28, right? Because 0 to 26 is actually 27, because you got to count Mr. Zero here, right? And then optimum power 28. That said, though, those of you who are in the know that not all of these are actually active, right? But the process, as I understand it, is for each and every one of these, I'm going to have to come over here to my variable camshaft. I'm going to have to get used to my math here and how this is set up. I'm going to have to think about my distance tables and how they're invoking everything. Right, so like my configuration here, we can see of the 28, these two here are not enabled. So cool. All right, fine. I only have to tune 25 of these things now, right? And as I invoke them with my drivability tables, that I get to, this will choose, hey, in this circumstance, command table 3, this will command table 6, right? With those, I can kind of isolate it, but that's still 25 of these things where I'm going to have to use, thank God, HP Tuners gave us the speed density calculator, because this is essentially, it is a volumetric efficiency table, right? And for every single one of these, I'm going to have to create a histogram, 25 different histograms. I'm going to have to isolate each and every one of these. I'm going to have to come in and do 25 speed density histogram averages, right, where I'm putting error on each of these and dialing this all in. And not only that, though, it doesn't end there. Once you've got the speed density, why would you stop there? Go ahead and worry about torque and all the torque tables that go with them. And then you're going to have to think about spark and all the map points for spark, right? So I am looking at this mountain that is S650 tuning beyond just the math, and I am concerned, I am excited, I am curious, and I'm wondering who among you out there is doing this, because I'm going to say something. If you are a professional tuner, it's like oil, right? And then I'll tell the story and then I'm going to stop. Oil changes, right? You send your mother-in-law over to the quick lube and they say, hey, for $30 I'm going to change your oil. It'll be done in 10 minutes, right? And car guys know you cannot drain an oil pan in 10 minutes, especially if that oil is fugly. It takes time. You're going to want to take off the drain plug. You're going to want to let it have a good half hour, really get the crap out, right? The sludge. Same idea here. If you are hiring a professional tuner, those of you who are out there, you've got your S650, you're very excited, and you say, okay, here's my money, give me a file. If that file comes back the next day and they're saying, drive it around a little bit, right? And then you send it back, right, with a remote tuning style, and then the second file you get, they're like, here you go, you're all good. No fucking way, right? You're telling me you went through these 25 tables, worked the calculator for each and every one of these, then you went in and cross-checked while you have your tables isolated against torque and spark? Folks, that's the half hour versus the 10 minutes, right? So just when you work with your tuners, man, ask them, wow, how did you get through 25 speed density tables in 2 days? Right? And that's where you may never hear from some of them again. But some of them who are very good will say, well, Abler doesn't know what he's talking about, right? We know we have a secret, right? And that doesn't surprise me. There's probably a more efficient way to move through this. And that's kind of what I'm interested in. If you are working these and you are willing to share, I'd sure like to hear, right? But over the next probably week or two here, especially because I also have to order a map sensor so I can have essentially the wideband version of pressure sensing, like along with airflow sensing. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you don't, you'll find out because I'm going to post a video all about it. But yeah, if you guys are doing this, man, how are you getting through it? Have fun out there, stay safe, and I will see you next time.